asked this question the other day and I thought it would be interesting, and this is, how do I know how big my groups should be?
Shoot. I'm Max. I'm Patch. Here we have like a 0 stop. Okay, so using use gun 1, go down.
Where we size them up, it's called softer sausage.
Well, there's one way we can find out, and that is by looking in the Kestrel. So we can take into account our standard deviation and the actual inherent grouping capacity of the rifle. And what am I talking about there? The inherent grouping capacity is if you put that rifle in a vise, how tightly would it group? And a lot of people think, well, it would probably just stack rounds on top of each other, but this actually isn't true. Bullets obviously have a big factor in how small a group can be. The rifle, all these different factors mean that bullets don't just sit on top of each other, they actually make a group, okay? And this is that grouping capacity of the rifle. Now, one extra thing that has a big factor when we're grouping is our standard deviation. When you chrono your firearm, you get an average muzzle velocity. Your standard deviation is, on average, how much is your bullet going to deviate from that average. So what's the highest, the lowest, and everything in between. And it'll give you a number. For the rifle that we're using at the minute, the average muzzle velocity was 23.06. Okay, and the standard deviation was 13 feet per second. So one way we can find out how big our groups are going to change with shot to shot, or that cone, is by adding on the standard deviation. So the way we look at it is we want to go to our truing distance, okay? So our truing distance for our supersonic range, so muzzle velocity, we're then going to go onto cal MV, and it will tell us at the top what distance we should be, okay, for our cal MV. In this case it's 594, we're already at that range, which is fine. And we're going to go back and look at our drop. So our drop there is 6.9 mils, okay, 6.9 mils. So remember that. Then we're going to go into muzzle velocity and we're going to put on our standard deviation. So this is mimicking a high shot, the highest shot that we might see. So we'll add 13. Okay, so we added 13, we're now at 23.19. 23.19! Okay, we're then going to go back and have a look at our drop. So in here, we've come down 0.09 mils. All right, so 0.09 mils. This means that a high shot, the highest it might go is 0.09 high and 0.09 low, almost 0.1. Okay, we can almost call it 0.1 high or 0.1 low from our group capacity. Okay, most rifles, precision rifles, are at least 1 MOA, okay, which is a 0.3 mil group, meaning we can add on a 0.1 above and a 0.1 below, or 0.2, or if you really want to get fancy, then it can be a 0.18. But we can add on a 0.2 above and below, meaning that our grouping capacity will be a 0.3, which is 1 MOA, add 0.1 above and 0.1 below, meaning 0.5. So our group capacity we'd expect to see is a 0.5 mil group at every range. Now that sounds quite big, however, what we usually find is people overestimate their capability, meaning that when we're shooting, we then get into the case of, when do I adjust? Do I need to adjust? Is this in my grouping capacity, or am I truing? How do I know when I'm actually on target? Well, when I've seen that highest round, the lowest round, as long as it's in 0.5, I know it's my grouping capacity, it's not me. If it's past 0.5, then I know it's a bad shot on my end. Okay, so when am I actually going to use this? Well, say I'm zeroing, for example, and I want to know, right, have I shot enough rounds? Well, I can shoot until I see that highest round, that lowest round, that 0.5 mil group. Another time we might use it is when we're truing. How do I know if I just see one bullet and it hits exactly where I'm aiming? That doesn't necessarily mean that all of them are going to go there. The general trend might be slightly off. So we need to fire until we see that 0.5 mil group, okay? And everyone's going to be slightly different. In this case, this gun here was 0.5. Other people's might not be 0.5. It might be less than that. So this is something you can have a look, and it makes you know when you're shooting good and makes you know when you need to try harder. Cheers, guys.